What's up? What's up? Let's see how many people actually joined today. I doubt it's going to be a lot of people. I doubt it. Genuinely doubt it. But nonetheless, again, like we're going to look at the markets for a little bit. Hold on. All right. So we're going to look at the markets a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I mean, granted, you guys probably shouldn't be trading today. Right. The reason I can say that is obviously we do have a lot of bank holidays. We had Euro yesterday. We have GBP today, CAD today. It's just not an ideal day. So again, like come in here, ask questions. I probably won't be live long. I'll probably just be live until market open. We're going to see what happens there. Also, I want to talk about UK 100 trade from yesterday too. Again, I did end up taking UK 100. I did end up losing, but obviously I went back over it. Not going to lie, I wish I would have seen or been awake around 5 a.m. just because DAX, instead of going higher initially like UK 100 did, it came down, facilitated the pullback of this bullish leg, and that tells me a lot. Granted, it's DAX, it's different than UK 100, but nonetheless, they've been moving quite literally the same, right? Nonetheless, it is what it is. But one thing I did talk about yesterday too is like I was a little bit hesitant on this trade. Nonetheless, it still followed my system, so I still wanted to take it. But I told you guys that being that this candle here that broke structure, it was fundamentally influenced, right? It was a lot of it was due to the fact that Trump said something and it kind of crashed the markets. So with that being said, that's why I was a little bit hesitant going into it. Nonetheless, I still wanted to take it, got the data necessary. And obviously this data isn't going to tell me everything, but it tells me that, again, when we have fundamentally influence breaks of structures or change of characters, it's something I want to be a little bit more hesitant on, meaning I should have, or at least waited. And I can't say should have, but going forward, there's a possibility that if we ever have another type of situation like this where we see a fundamentally influenced candle, I'll just wait for price to react off of it and actually tell us that we're definitely continuing to play within that bearish structure that was made. Obviously, in this case, we weren't. We did end up breaking higher, showing that we had a lot of bullish volume. A lot of it, I think, was to take the liquidity from this high, from this fundamentally influenced candle. Now we're sitting up here, obviously, bank holiday. I doubt price is even moving. No. Okay. Well, actually, it is. I'm tweaking. But just, it's not worth it. So I won't be trading that. I doubt I'll even be trading NQ. If anything, we'll just be looking at NQ just for the fun of it, just because it's moving somewhat well. But again, I'm not going to be trading it. Euro USD. I got you. So Euro USD. Like, we are heavily bullish here, but nonetheless, like what I'm looking at is this overall structure here. We were making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We made a higher higher, and then we totally disregarded that, breaking that low, giving us the idea that price can go most likely bearish long term. Looks like we had a deep pullback of this range, but we didn't break these highs, and looks like we're now continuing back lower within that overall swing bearish trend. So honestly, I look for sells, but again, it's not an ideal day to trade. You guys should not be trading today, I'd say. So it just take the day off. It's fine to take a day off or two. Like, yeah, again, be excited for Monday. Look forward to Monday. Go and back test. Like, the only reason I'm here, guys, is to answer questions and to go over some trades, right? Go over some things that I've been looking for or noticing within price. And again, one thing we were talking about yesterday, if you were here yesterday, is the fact that, again, like the 1 minute did show us a setup earlier in the week. Obviously, we don't trade the 1 minute on DAX and UK 100, or at least I don't. And I was looking for something yesterday just as an observation. Nothing to trade, but nothing played out on the 1 minute. DAX ended up falling way deeper than what that 1 minute was giving us the idea of, we could have seen a pullback. Obviously, we got it later, but nonetheless, price failed that area. Same thing, UK 100. It didn't fail that area, but nonetheless, it just ended up pushing. No pullbacks, no nothing until here. But obviously, from there, we just expanded higher. Okay. But DAX, I'm not in DAX. I was just kind of mocking that up. That happened way too late. Happened at 7:30 in the morning. Way too late. It's because of the long week. Why we shouldn't rush into trades? No, it's just bank holidays. I don't think there's a USD bank holiday, but someone told me that NQ's closed too. But again, like when it comes to this, like I'm just getting ready for next week. Not necessarily back testing, but again, we can back test, right? Obviously, I don't think I need to back test. But again, I was going over how to actually properly back test yesterday. That's something you guys should be doing. If you're still new to the things, if you're still trying to collect data, or even if you're not new to things and you're just overall trying to collect data on something that you've been noticing changing or occurring within the market, back test the appropriate way. Again, I showed you guys that yesterday. You can go into the live stream replay on YouTube. I can't say it's better than gold, Ahmed, but nonetheless, I think gold is a different type of mover. Again, it's a commodity, okay? But nonetheless, like I think I just don't like how gold moves. I really don't. Um, it's a little bit more sporadic. Yes, a lot of times like my directional bias will be correct, but nonetheless, I feel like I still end up treating it a little bit different than what I would with indices, sorry, or forex pairs. No, like you don't have to make it like every day consistently. It's just on your winning days you have to make at least that amount. So always remember that. But again, when it comes to gold, like I've just never been a fan of gold. It's just not me. I think we could see higher prices, to be honest, just looking at price in itself. Maybe not yet on the lower time frames. But fire, Bobby. I mean, it can be. I think from like not having a lot of personal funds, that's where I think funded accounts do shine. But nonetheless, I feel like everybody's goal, or at least a lot of people's goal, is to ultimately trade live with live funds, just because again there's no payout caps, there's nothing involving that, no drawdown rules. But nonetheless, I think it's still smart to take advantage of funded accounts. Perfect. Thank you. I did 9K in one day. I need another day to make 200. Make it. I believe there's a consistency rule too. You got to keep that in mind. So with you making that big of a day, you don't blow the account, but you just have to make a lot more than your initial profit target. It's a 50% consistency, which is actually a really big consistency rule. So just be aware of that. See what NAS is doing. Moving slow. Again, that's why I say it's just not worth it. I mean, it's still moving nonetheless, but again, guys, I'll probably just be here till like open, which is like another 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, just to kind of see what it does. And then from there, I'm probably out of here. Not gonna lie to you. Honestly, this 5-minute break, because then honestly, like it'd be nice to see some type of 1-minute pullback, but it just really depends. And it would kind of be weird. Hold on. That's the best prop firm. I'm usually confident in my trade setups, but seem to always enter right where price reverses. This happened with partner trades. The last 76 years trade never been profitable. How can I fix this way of entering? If you're entering always where price reverses, I would say if you're not taking a look at like higher time frame analysis or using multi-time frame analysis, that's where you're going to be or wrong majority of the times, truly. Because again, like I like to say that like all time frames align in some way, shape, or form. Where let's imagine, this is the hourly candle, right? Obviously, this does have some type of influence to your overall trade. So if you're just tunnel visioned on the 1 minute, where the 1 minute could look bearish, and like, yes, obviously price is bearish, you always want to trade within the trend, so they say, but nonetheless, if you would identify that price has been, let's say, oversold for a long time on the higher time frames. And on the even higher time frames, like the 4-hour, let's imagine there's a big bullish leg over here. Oops, I fucked that up. Let's imagine there's a big bullish leg over here. Those higher time frames come into play because, again, it tells you that, okay, the 4-hour is bullish, right? Obviously, it facilitated a pullback, and this is where I am very big on using the Fibonacci, because it gives you an idea of where price is sitting within the overall range of the previous swing leg. Obviously, we are now within a discounted range, and we were bullish prior to this, so we know that now that we're at a discounted range, it's a lot higher probability that price is going to pump back up and take these highs out and continue with its overall swing bullish trend. But if you're just tunnel vision on the lower time frames, you're going to keep seeing these sell setups at these lows, which again could be good in some cases, but nonetheless, if you identify that on the higher time frames, we are now at a lower probability for price to continue to sell, and it's more likely to continue higher, and that's where you could be getting taken out on these moves. Again, you could be entering just tunnel vision on lower time frame, not realizing the higher time frames are giving you another idea of what price can do, or is at least more probable to do. Again, it's a probabilities game. You're not going to be 100%, but nonetheless, that's why I use multi-time frame analysis to just give me an idea of where the probabilities sit for the day. Are we in discount? Are we in premium? And based off of that, again, like the way I look at it is institutions and banks pump price up to a high expensive price because they make more money when they sell it back off into a discounted price, and they sell it off into a discounted price, which is typically anything under the equilibrium, because they make more money, or it costs less for them to then pump it back up, right? And obviously the same thing goes the other way. When we change character, it's just an overextended range into discounted price, which from a technical standpoint tells us we broke structure, a strong area of structure that could tell us that price is now ready to go deeper. But again, it's not just going to shoot forever. We're going to have these pullbacks because it makes sense for these institutions and banks to push price to a higher, more premium price where they make more money before they continue that sell-off, right? And that's why I use Fib to identify those certain levels. I just happen to enter off of usually the 50% because nonetheless, price doesn't have to come deep within discounted price. It can, but once they get to a 50% equilibrium or equal value of the overall range, that's where price is just at a higher probability to now flip and continue with the overall structure of price. Again, it's just probabilities. Again, I hope you understood that. Again, if you're new to things, you're not going to understand it. But again, I have YouTube videos. I have stuff like that, kind of going over my trades and all that. But again, this is exactly the same thing I teach my students, and I see them killing it day in, day out, especially some of the newer ones. Some of the newer ones are already getting it down where they just understand that, okay, price is more likely to react off these areas of equilibrium, even if it's targeting these areas of equilibrium. That's still smart because you know if you have the proper structure on a lower time frame, price is at a higher probability to pull back before continuing its sell-off. Obviously, I can't say a higher probability, but it only becomes a higher probability if the market structure on the lower time frame is shifting within a bullish manner, right? So keep that in mind. Like here, I guess this is a... let me find a good example. Excuse me. I'll show you live time. Price has been shit, to be honest. Okay, over here was some pretty good market structure. This was in fucking February. Makes sense. So what do we see first off the bat? So the hourly time frame was previously bearish, right? We were creating these new higher lows, lower lows. We eventually flipped structure. Okay, we broke a high. We broke a high that should not have been broken because, again, this last high led to a previous breaker structure. Therefore, it's a protected high. Okay, once we look at that, obviously we can mark our fib from the low to the high. We see price has a deeper pullback than usual within discount, but nonetheless never breaks these lows. So that means it stays valid within that overall previous bullish structure. It continues higher and proves that to us with breaking the structure. Let me delete everything now. With breaking the structure. And then from there, what do we see again? We can use the fib to identify where's our equilibrium sitting within this overall leg, because we know that price will most likely pull back into it before continuing higher. And what did it do? It did exactly that. Where again, on the lower time frames, you could have looked for sells, caught sells, knowing that you can target these specific areas. And once we hit these areas, you can then look for buying opportunities to continue price higher. Obviously, you're not always going to get them, but nonetheless, you still see price continue to play out within its same bullish order flow where price is making new higher highs and then making new higher lows down into equilibrium before continuing higher. Okay. Again, like it's literally what I do all the time. Target these areas when price is overextended, or continuations off of these areas when I know that price is at a higher probability to continue within that higher time frame trend. Yeah, Larmies, I'm banning you. I'm banning you for that shit. Marty and Shorts Fire. Are you considering trades tonight? Maybe. Yeah, look at really women. The fuck. Yeah, me too. Except for Nas. So you're in shorts on Nas. Let's go over it, guys. Let's go over it. So first thing I'm noticing on the hourly, again, just like I said, I went over, we're seeing some nice little bearish push. We had some internal lows here, not the best lows to play off of. But one thing I'm also noticing, let's see how the 4 hour looks. Actually, 4 hour looks good too. 4 hour, same thing, bearish. We had to pull back deeper. We're seeing that 1 hour show us signs of continuations back lower. And because of the 4 hour trend, seeing that swing bearish leg, I could assume that sells are more probable here than buys, at least from a long-term standpoint. But obviously, lower time frames could tell us something else. But just like I said, we have a break lower. We had a pullback of this lower time frame leg, which again, I use the fib on all time frames to identify where's the discount premium of that previous range on that time frame. Because again, I'm not going to trade the 1 minute and look at the hourly and say based off this leg, no. Because again, multi-time frame analysis is important. Again, as we go down, 5 minute, we're still seeing some type of bullish price action here where we had some type of internal low, not the best. And then we see price continuing higher and higher and higher here. But nonetheless, it actually looks like we could be felling some of these areas. Nothing that stands out to me though. Like again, like truly from a 5 minute standpoint, I'd want to see a break of these lows. Because again, like we could trade the 1 minute bearish trend that we're clearly within that internal price action. But we could end up failing these levels because of the fact that that 5 minute hasn't broken I couldn't even say a strong low, but any type of 5 minute low to confirm that price is now out of this 5 minute bullish range. And we're definitely now within that 5 minute bearish range. This could just be an internal pullback to lead to higher prices. Obviously, it may not be, but how do you like liquid? Kill or be killed? What are you trading? CAD? Honestly, this has been my broker since I would trade Forex like that. I used to trade it all the time. I sent you a message if you ever want to check them out. I think it's way better when it comes to trading, what's it called? Forex pairs, just because you can either pick between no commissions or very low commissions, or raw spreads where you get better entries than what you would have if you are dealing with spreads. So, but again, I even use it for DAX and UK 100, which is indices. But I used to trade a lot of Forex too with them. Do I have a prediction what can happen with gold? Yeah, I'll look right now. So, again, I think I had said earlier, like I expect potential higher prices. Let's look from this standpoint. Obviously, we had a nasty bearish leg here. From a technical standpoint, obviously, we did end up hitting the equilibrium. So that could be like one reason that price could continue lower. But nonetheless, I have a feeling, and this is maybe just intuition. Again, I don't really trade gold. I feel like we'll have a deeper pullback just because we're still holding pretty strong within the lower time frame bullish trend, which is obviously still the hourly. So let's go down to even lower time frames. Even the 15 minute is showing signs we're breaking some decent highs. We could just continue higher. We have New York lows above. New York highs above. We obviously still have New York lows open too, so we could have a sell off, but nonetheless, we're still seeing some bullish volume here. So I think we may take highs before we take lows. Yeah, I don't think we can, Joris. I've been paper trading on that platform the whole time since I started. Fire, how do you like it, Jay? I love him. I love my broker. I think it by far the best. Like I have traded with Hanko and stuff like that. No, like it just no. And being that they have Trade Locker and they're double regulated, fire platform. Cannot lie to you. So if you guys ever need them, let me know. Jay's already on it. A bunch of people are already on it here. You know what's up? Even George. I've had no problems with them so far. I even had to put real capital loss at account because of poor management. They're pretty good. Yeah, I think they're definitely best in the game. I do now, George. I used not to. I used to like MT5 a lot more, but I've just gotten used to Trade Locker. I've been locked in with you from YouTube. I've been using them. Fire. I love that. Again, speaking of YouTube, guys. Thank you, Jay. YouTube plug time. Nah, I'm not like, again, the only reason I'm plugging this is, okay, I can't say this weekend. I'm probably going to be out this weekend. But probably Monday, there will be a video dropped announcing the giveaway winners from my last video. Again, all you got to do is fucking comment. Sorry to cuss. Probably shouldn't cuss. All you got to do is comment. Go comment right now. If you guys don't comment, I mean, I could care less. Just because, again, it's really just for a free 100K funded account from Legacy. George is 1-1. George got, what, 4K in payouts? George happened to be one of the commenters one time. He won an account, and I think racked in 4K, if I'm not wrong. Maybe even more. Yeah, it does look better, George. Can we win twice? Yeah, basically 4K. George, I got to give other people a chance. You know, I want someone else to have another 4K payout from the free account. That's what we want, guys. But obviously, George, like once I pass out a certain amount, then, you know, we could end up repicking winners in the future and stuff like that. But I want to give everybody a chance. Sorry, I didn't hear you well. Can you repeat it? I will be in. Oh, for the free 100K account, it's the video that I just linked. It's one of my last videos I posted. If you comment on that video, you can win a free account potentially. Obviously, there's more commenters, so I usually pick randomly. But you can also subscribe, because even if I don't pick you or you don't happen to win in this next video that I drop announcing it, every single video I do, there's a giveaway. Every single new video I do, there's a giveaway. So there's always chances. There's always ways to potentially win. Again, I do just do it for you guys. Like, I don't have to, but nonetheless, like, again, helps you guys. Whoever wins helps me. It's love both ways. You can't complain about that one. Can't complain. Do we have market open? Oh my gosh, we're already 12 minutes into open. I just been yapping. Horrible open. I mean, obviously we're seeing some type of bearish pressure here. What's gold doing? Looking for shorts on US 100. It's making nice pullbacks. Yeah, it's still trending lower and lower. It's just my one fear is, actually no, I expect price to go lower. It's just I want to see a break of this low first, but nonetheless, price may already be ready to go lower. I wish we swept New York highs. Not gonna lie to you, I really wish we did. Obviously, I'm not gonna trade, guys. I really don't think it's worth it. I'd rather just chill in here, kind of see if something plays out, talk to you guys. Just because, again, like, obviously price can still move beautifully well. We may miss out on a winning trade, but I mean, I really could care less. So we'll see. We'll see if price with this new bearish legs ends up pulling back and continuing to play lower, or we're at the end of our move, because again, from this standpoint of this overall swing leg, because we're now dealing with the internal structure. This is our overall swing 1 minute leg, because this was the last high that led to this break of this low. Okay. So that's always something to keep in mind, is yes, we can, and nothing says we have to have that deeper facilitation or of that pullback of that swing leg. We can continue lower and lower and lower, but at some point we will most likely facilitate that pullback of that 1 minute swing leg before then continuing within that overall swing structure. Comment, fingers crossed, fire. Again, I'll be picking randomly within the next couple days. It'll be posted on the new video, so you got to watch the new video. Maybe something as far as my system. Is there anything specific you guys want me to talk about? You know, go through my YouTube channel. A lot of you guys already have, but if there's something specific that you're just kind of, you know, iffy on, let me know. Let me know. We'll go over it. I'll talk about it. It could even be psychology, right? But obviously, I already have some ideas, so. I don't even know where my phone is. Oh, there it is. DAX is still moving. UK 100 still moving. We're still coming back down. You know, I have a feeling that we are from the get-go. But we're going to see. Like, obviously, we'll play out. We have a bank holiday today, so it's probably barely going to move. But we'll see how price plays out, especially going into next week as well. I will be... Next week, too, I will be live for, obviously, London. But I'm also going to be live for Power Hour, guys. Probably for an entire week. But I'll be there. We'll kill it. We'll run it up. We'll have some fun. We'll see how that goes. I'll be live for both. Get in shorts. Nah. Just based off how I trade, I'd have to wait for a pullback because we're at a point right here where price can obviously can continue to sell off, but as we kind of range lower, we could see those pullbacks where if I even would enter right now, which I probably never would, my stops would still have to be all the way up here, right? Which would still give price room. If it needed to facilitate a pullback, it still can, and we'd still stay in the trade. But nonetheless, if it did end up dipping lower, it would be good. Obviously, I'm not getting in. I don't even think I'd get in at this area here. I just want to kind of see what happens, right? I'm telling you, there will most likely be a pullback in almost all cases. Let's see if price does what I'm kind of anticipating, and then we'll see if price actually holds strong and continues lower, or again, does end up breaking higher to facilitate a deeper pullback of our overall swing bearish leg from that 5-minute standpoint, okay? Yeah, same here, stays. Same here. Need a pullback. Kind of want to see a little deeper price. Just want to mock it up just to see what happens. Why is gold closed? I don't know. There's some it's like someone told me it's like Good Friday, some bullshit name like that. New here, sorry, but I'd say most important for me is risk management, keeping detailed journal on every trade notes before, after what we went, and well, what went wrong, spending too much time on journal. Ready to trade become. You're in the right spot, Adam. As far as having a journal, again, I think that will be my next video. I have a journal myself. I get data all the time. I talk about it all the time in here because it's super important in, again, seeing, especially when you're new. Not even if you're not new and you're advanced, you've been making money for years, it's still important, right? I still do it. A lot of people still do it. And even if people don't do it, I mean, I could care less because at the end of the day, it's overall building data that could be necessary if any changes do happen in the future, which again, at any point in time, things can change. We saw March go to shit because of a fucking war. Again, things can change. Nonetheless, again, like 1 month isn't going to change my entire system. But I have the data necessary in case situations like that reoccur where there is a war. So therefore, based off the previous data I got, we had a lot of shitty price action, a lot of fake outs. Just wasn't ideal. But it's just data. I think you're in the right spot. Just make sure you're getting the right data too. If you're backtesting, get good backtested data. Again, I went over it yesterday. Go to the hourly time frame. Scroll all the way the fuck out. Sorry to cuss. Scroll all the way out where you can't see nothing. Press replay. Obviously, you may have to buy it. And actually backtest appropriately where you don't see what happens prior to you pressing next on your buttons down here. Because then it actually gives you better data in the sense of you understand that, okay, because let's say we didn't have a replay and we saw that price flew here. Obviously, our initial thought in our head is, I'm going to look for a buying opportunity. But nonetheless, live markets, you may not be looking for a buying opportunity because of the fact that you didn't know what was going to happen. So that's why replay is so important, and also to do it correctly is because then we can look for certain setups that would align with the overall bias of what we can initially see. So obviously we're seeing expansion lower on London. We're seeing price come higher. Obviously we're within this bullet bearish range. Let's see if price ever breaks it. If we break it, then we can expect a pullback. Not the best break. I want to see a better one. Decent there. Obviously we're now trading into New York, but nonetheless we'll still use the idea. And then you play out, okay? Obviously my entry would have been down there. Our range continues to expand, so obviously our equilibrium's higher up. And again, this is like, if you are backtesting to get data, this is the only way you should be doing it. mocking it up to see what would happen without you already seeing what price is doing. Because then again, I could be taking this just based off the 5-minute structure, and it may end up losing, it may end up winning, but nonetheless looks like it ended up wicking our area, lost. Okay, lost. So again, that tells me maybe I was missing something. Obviously, I'm just back testing, but the higher time frames could have told me something else. And what did I already see off the bat? If I would have went to the higher time frames, I would have identified that the 30-minute was bearish. This was just a pullback to lead to overall continuation of that bearish 30-minute structure, right? And seeing that and not realizing that, because I was tunnel vision on the 5-minute, made me lose this trade. Where if I would have realized that, I could have potentially now looked for a selling opportunity with the fact that price is now bearish within here. So obviously, let's flip trend now that we understand what price should be doing, and let's see if it wins. Obviously, it doesn't have to, but it's just a higher probability that price is going to. So we can target obviously 1 to 2, whatever. Let's see if price even pulls back. We're dipping lower. The lower we dip, obviously our range expands, so our equilibrium's pushed down, so our entries gets pushed down. Obviously, we're not in this yet, but you get the gist. Let's see when we get in it. Has to hit equilibrium, taking fucking forever. Oh my god, hit equilibrium. Fuck this, we're going to a higher time frame. What is price doing? Hit equilibrium. Let's see if it continues with that bearish range. Again, this is ultimately just data, and I don't need this data, guys, but this is just an idea of what you can be doing day in, day out. If you need more data, if you're new to things, obviously price took us out. So again, obviously price didn't play out with the 30-minute trend. Did we miss something? And this is where, again, you get observations based off what you can notice price doing. Okay, in this case here, we were still bearish, right? We had this bearish leg. We had a pullback. We had a continuation lower. Price should have held here. Obviously, just because price is at a higher probability doesn't mean it's going to hold. We're also still bearish within this 1 minute. This 1 hour, because price never fully broke those highs. So let's see what we do. Do we end up continuing lower, or we do continue higher? Finally, we continue higher. Just goes to show price was ready to flip trend, and we're just one of those trades. Okay, but again, it's just an example. That's what you should be doing not every single day. Okay, but if you're new, on a more consistent basis, truly. If I did it that fast, obviously I have more experience and I can identify things right away based off what my system calls for. But again, even without having examples of winning trades, just based off those losing trades, I give you examples of what you could be missing, right? Obviously, when we were tunnel vision on the 5-minute, we lost because of the 30-minute. We had 30-minute, it looked pretty good even from a higher time frame standpoint, but nonetheless, it still lost because price just was not ready to go into deeper discounted levels. Again, it's all data, it's all information too, right? We were clearly at the end of that 30-minute trend that happened, to have, I think it had like a couple higher highs, higher lows, where that could have just been the end of the trend, right? And that's just information to really put back in. Careful, my boy, don't lose this in your Discord. Oh, my bad, Jay. I didn't know if it was for Easter. I didn't know that was Good Friday. Yeah. Yeah, stays. I didn't understand that. Like, I'm Christian, but nonetheless, like, I can't lie to you guys. Like, I definitely don't do a lot of research. Like, I'm not too heavy into it. Gotta get my fun this week and start Monday. Fire, Julio. Good for his call. Good day for this. Good day, humanity. Okay. Yeah, fire, Jay. Thank you. Again, I don't know. No need to cancel. But nonetheless, again, like, still bank holiday. Like, again, it's just not worth trading, guys. Again, even with these setups looking decently well, we had a good reaction off 50%. Again, like, we could mock it up just to see what happens. But nonetheless, we'll see. We'll see. How was my trip? It was good. It was good. I wish I got more content. Like, obviously there's a vlog, but nonetheless, I wish I got more content overall. But I was just busy. Like, I thought it would have been easier with the time change. Like, London session was at 3 p.m. at the time. But like, at the same time, I realized how much it came in the way of, actually being able to Um, gosh, Thunder. It came in the way of actually being able to, live stream all the time. It was midday. I was usually out, Did I learn change on? No, Thunder, I didn't. Honestly, I was surprised. Like, I didn't pick up on anything really. And I was like even surprised myself. I was only there 2 weeks. I wasn't there long. Was not there long. But already 20 minutes in, I kind of just been yapping away. Again, there's no more questions. There's really going to be no trading. Just not worth it, guys. Not worth it whatsoever. Nonetheless, let's kill it this next week. Okay. Let's kill this next week. Obviously, I'll be in my personal Discord. No volume today, just like Stay said. We're going to stay away. It's better just save your capital, trade next week. Next week's still going to come, hopefully. And obviously, I think I'm hoping April's better. Obviously, the war's still going on. Still could be a shit show. But nonetheless, let's hope things kind of breeze over and we're just, trading's kind of, I wouldn't even say back to normal. Like, it's still decent, but still decent. Play safe. Yeah, play safe is a safe trade. You're right. But again, no more questions. I'm out of here. Also, again, I think it ends this week, probably tomorrow. 20% discount on my code right now, code Nick. So go get that. Just because, again, it will be gone. So it'll be lower. It will only be like 15%. So I'm out of here. Later. See you guys next week. I'll be here for Power Hour and London. You guys will know, of course, later. Later, YouTube. I'm out of here.